The game is 3 o'clock on Sunday at Wembley Stadium. So that's 10 a.m. Eastern time. Chelsea are 2-1 underdogs. The draw is 13-5 plus 260. Sorry. Yeah, 13-5 plus 260. Liverpool are 5-4 favourites plus 125. So just historically, this cup final, we've had 3 in a row they've gone under 2.5. Obviously, Manchester United beat Newcastle 2-0 last year, including in those is a 0-0 draw between these two teams in 2022, which Liverpool won on penalties. And also both teams to score no in the last 3 of those as well. So we talk about it being an overs league, whether or not it's cagey because it's a cup final, or it's just a complete and utter coincidence. And this is a really interesting game to handicap, as because Liverpool look vulnerable. We touched on it briefly on Monday night, didn't we, when we chatted? Liverpool look vulnerable with players out. Now, obviously, they've got in 1-4-1 tonight, so you're saying, how vulnerable can they look? But they were a goal down after 50-odd minutes. They hadn't created too much. Luton were very much still in it. And it's a home and over. Luton at the end of the day, it's nothing to get too carried away with. Where Chelsea have been very competitive against the good teams. And you've only got to go back to last Saturday night when they were 3 or 4 minutes away from turning Manchester City over. So this season, Chelsea they got a 1-1 with Liverpool, which was the first day of the season. They've had a 1-1 with City last weekend. They had a 4-4 with City earlier in the season. They've had a 2-2 with Arsenal. So Chelsea seem to be able to pick themselves up. And this squad, I know it's a new set of players, but this club have done this for years and years and years. They're unique in their ability to perform when they want to and just not bother on other occasions. Like, I've never known a football team do this because they've done it for about a generation now. It's absolutely ridiculous. The fly in the ointment handicap in this is on the 31st of January. Liverpool absolutely smashed the daylights out of Chelsea 4-1. There was some mitigating circumstances. Chelsea probably should have got the first goal of the game with the VAR penalty not given. But ultimately, Liverpool were considerably better than them on that night. So, 3 parts here, Baz. The weight of history lies in 3 parts for me. It's the history of these finals, which are unders. The history to me says unders. It's the history of Chelsea v Liverpool. If you take that 4-1 out of it, there's been tons of 0-0s. We talked about it before we handicapped them in the past. And then the history of Chelsea against these decent teams this year, 3-1-1 draws. So that's where I'm going to stay, Baz. I'm going to take the under. It is plus money as well. It's 15-13. Under 2.5 goals is plus 115. I'm going to take the draw. So that would be a 1-1 draw. The draw's 11-4 plus 275. 1-1 correct score is 6-1. And we're looking for a winner. Someone's going to win. So I'm going to go with Chelsea in extra time, Barry, at 14-1. Liverpool's legs are going to give out. They've put a lot of effort in. Chelsea have had the week off. It's going to finish 1-1. Chelsea nick it in the 112th minute. Chelsea win 2-1 in extra time, Barry.
Well, I'm pleased you've got multiple bets, because so have I. And most of them are very much along the same lines as you. I've said a few weeks ago, I think this would have been a bit more straightforward, because after that Liverpool 4-1 win, everyone was saying you might as well hand them the trophy now. And you could say, if you look at the form lines, not a huge amount has changed, because Liverpool are still beating everyone. They're still winning games by multiple goals every week, and they're still scoring 3 or 4 goals every week. Chelsea followed up that 4-1 defeat with a 4-2 defeat to Wolves a week later. But then they did have a good performance and win over Villa in the Cup. They pushed City all the way last weekend. They beat Palace in the middle of those. And I think you've just got to come back to the injury crisis for Liverpool. It was precisely why I thought they were worth taking on this week. And I liked my 12-1 bet. When you see the lineup, it was exactly what I said the other day. I said, all of these players are definitely out. And I'd said Núñez and Salah probably wouldn't make it. That turned out to be right. So Trent, Szoboszlai, Jota, Jones, Alisson are all likely to miss out again. I mean, Alisson wouldn't have started anyway because they were going to start Kelleher because he's played all of the cup games. Salah and Núñez obviously missed out tonight, might be back, might have a better chance of making it back. But if they're not fit, on a Wednesday night, then, how fully fit are they ready for a full 90 minutes and potentially more there? So I think you've got to factor that in. And as I say, you look at the score tonight, 4-1, and obviously didn't matter. But I just think Chelsea might be able to capitalise on the situation better. And I looked at things like where Chelsea have got draws already this season against Man City twice, Arsenal. And again, you think of the Liverpool game, it was hugely one-sided, that game. But I think the injuries probably brings the teams a bit closer together. And let's not forget, you've talked about the history in this competition. 4 of the last 5 have hit the unders. But let's not forget these two recently saw 5 consecutive draws in head-to-head games. 4 of them were 0-0 draws, including 2 cup finals. And as I say, I think because of the Liverpool injury situation, I wanted to fade them in some sort of fashion. I thought Chelsea were a bit shorter than I expected. I expect that's probably shortened as a result of the injuries. And although that 4-1 sort of bucked the trend of draws recently, I think, as I say, the teams will be a bit closer together this weekend. So I am going for the draw. I'm taking the draw again at 13-5, same as you, plus 260. I'm going to take the 0-0 draw because we've had 4 of them in the last 6 head-to-heads. 14-1 for a 0-0 draw, so I'll take that. And I also like the unders. My main pick here would be the unders at plus money. 4 of the last 5 cup finals have hit the under, and it's just one of those games that might book the recent trend in Premier League games where we've got goals galore. Yeah, so the picks for me, I think Chelsea, Liverpool will draw. I think 0-0 at 14-1's got to be worth a sprinkle, and a few people in the chat have mentioned that. And then under 2.5 goals at plus money looks like a pick as well.
Okay, so a team ride on the draw and on the under.